play the Lions. And for Sunday Night Football, Bengals traveling to New York to play the Giants. For a limited time, MyBookie still has that double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
Mia here. The name to remember this hurricane season is Pro-Jax Roofing. Your neighbors have relied on Mike for 25 years to repair or replace their roofs. When you call Pro-Jax Roofing, you only talk to Mike. No expensive salespeople. You always get the best price for your project. For the lowest insurance rates, a free wind mitigation report is always given with your roof replacement. Pro-Jax Roofing wishes you a safe hurricane season. And if needed, Mike is here to help. Call today for a free estimate or go online at projaxroofingfl.com.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Hey, gang, Prosser here to save you some cash. Maximize your home sale now with the market experts who deliver more money in less time, and those experts are Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. You don't have to worry. The worries are relieved with Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts we are trusting and recommending with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mortgage rates are down. It's time to create your market. Marvin in Cobblestone writes, my siblings and I moved our parents to Maryland so they can get some extra help as they get older. Next, we had to sell the home to get them some financial help for their extra care. We hired Chad and Sandy, and they delivered big. Chad and Sandy's team got our home sold in 7 days above asking price. You can too. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
There's nothing like a perfect cigar shared among friends. On October 12th from 1 to 4 p.m., join us at Tobacco Cove for an unforgettable Aganorsa Leaf event. Meet the man behind the brand, Terrence Riley. There will be tasty food, great prizes, and exclusive deals on Aganorsa Leaf cigars. It's all happening at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. Come for the cigars, stay for the experience at Tobacco Cove.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here for Big Chief Tire. If you're looking for new tires, Big Chief has affordable options to fit every budget and every vehicle. Their team of experts will help you find the right tires and make sure they're installed quickly so you can get back on the road. Don't wait. Visit BigChiefService.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and explore their great tire deals. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling. Visit BigChiefService.com today.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Sure. As the world turns, you all know There's never a doubt there's an Iowa connection. And today's Iowa connection for Mia O'Brien resides in Knoxville, back in his, do we want to call it your old stomping grounds, your home state? Because not only is he a graduate of the University of Tennessee, covers the Vols for the Sports Animal in Knoxville. Tyler Ivins is also a New York Mets fan, so the tangled web of our connections is just so fascinating, my friend. And it is always a pleasure to be joined by you when it comes to Vols Gators Week.
Mamma mia, clap your hands. I'm doing well. You can call it that. The old man reached out to me from Fort Washington, Long Island last night. The high is still at that level. I'm talking like tippy toes to the top of the head. And, man, it's a gorgeous Thursday, but there's a lot of people who always know what it means when Florida's on the schedule. Everybody, the wallets get a little tighter. The nerves, they get strung out a little bit further, and Saturday night under the lights. How can you set a better schedule for Florida and Tennessee, right?
You're also fresh off of a dentist appointment, so we are truly getting peak Tyler Ivins. The Mets coming off of a dramatic NLCS clinching victory. The Vols, though, I mean, I'm assuming spirits are still high up there on Old Rocky Top, Tyler, despite that last-second loss to Arkansas, or have they done a 180 in Tennessee?
It is a very good question. It's kind of apprehensive. It's okay. The SEC, the best conference in college football, everybody loses. Ask Alabama, ask Missouri. Everybody can lose on any Saturday. I know that's a Sunday saying, but in the Southeastern Conference, when you add Texas and Oklahoma, even beforehand, anybody can be beaten. There's concerns for a couple reasons. Tennessee fans, and everybody was led to believe that with the graduation and the NFL drafted Joe Milton, five-star incumbent Nico Iamaleava would be able to wrap his arms, place his own DNA on Josh Heupel's offense. And this offense is predicated on a couple things, but the most important ingredient to this offense is tempo. Fast, 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 fast. Don't let the defense sub. Let your offense be able to dictate how the defense approaches you. You can't let them get into the different sets for whatever reason. They're down a wheel. Something's not right under the hood. The grasping of the offense perhaps has not been as thorough as many have believed. Simply put, Tennessee's offense has yet to look like the well-oiled machine we saw 2 years ago when they knocked Clemson off in the Orange Bowl. Whatever that may be, the rumors or the message board monsters, as we like to call them up here on Rocky Top, they believe Heupel's been holding back for this stretch run with Florida, Bama to come up. Kentucky looks like a better program. You better hope that's the case, because if it's not, I saw a Florida team, even though they're running two quarterbacks, whether it's Lagway or Mertz, this looks like a defense that last week might have found something to clean up UCF. I don't know if that's the case. You guys can tell me better than what I see with my own eyes. This Tennessee team, if they're holding back, if they have left things uncrossed on the itinerary, you better hope you got it figured out, because if they're not panicking, Mia, if they're not doing all those things of turning the page or completely moving on, you come out of 3 games of the SEC with a losing record, and one of them is to your old rival, yeah, there's going to be some serious questions that we're going to have to answer, or at least ask come Monday morning.
Speaking of, Tyler, that rival side of it, what is the message that Josh Heupel has been giving this team? Because we talk about the record and how Florida's just kind of dominated this matchup for a while, especially these last 20 years. What is kind of the message there to get beyond that and not focus so much on that old record and kind of make it a new one?
Yeah, Lord, that's a good question. And really what he keeps saying, though, is this. I wasn't here for all of those. That was Fulmer. That was Dooley. That was Pruitt. That was Kiffin. What he's saying is this is a new age of Tennessee football. And it's very true. I mean, look, they haven't had a winning record 17 of the last 19, 18 of the last 20. I tend to forget, because come September, it was just a loss to Florida. That's just the way it was. And then when your schedule used to be backed up Florida, Georgia, you were already out of the conversation of Atlanta by week 2 of the SEC play, or week 5 of the season. You were 0-2. Josh Heupel, since he's got to Knoxville, has tried to make it the new Tennessee. This isn't your 1990s run the dang ball, Burt, blindside Philip Fulmer team. This is sexy new offense. This is a Ferrari. This isn't a Honda Civic. But last year, you were 10 points, some would say 8 points better than that offense that Graham Mertz led. Mia, you and I know him from his Wisconsin days, and I repeatedly on our flagship station afternoon drive said, I watched this cat in Madison. This guy, unless he's got a GPS, he can't compass his way to the end zone. And all they did was keep the ball away from Tennessee and find Ricky Pearsall in the slot every second play. Last year was an embarrassment. If you have college football playoff aspirations, I don't care about Bama. I don't care about losing divisions. I don't care about inclusions of Texas A&M and Missouri and the Oklahomas and whatever this new SEC is. Whether you like it or not, 8-game conference schedule, 9-game conference schedule. Tennessee has to go through Florida. It's the way it's going to be. It's going to be this way for the foreseeable future. It doesn't matter if it's still Billy Napier's team, if it's rumored Coach B, C, D, or E's team. Tennessee and Florida are going to have to cross paths, whether they like it or not, if you want to talk about the playoffs for a meeting in Atlanta that first weekend in December.
Yeah, it does feel like Neyland Stadium, if somehow, some way Florida can find a lead in that game, it's going to feel so tight, and the 100,000 plus are going to be on pins and needles because of, like you said, the history. It's 17 out of the last 20 that Florida has won. However, the 3 that Tennessee have won has all been in Neyland Stadium. So it's in the fan psyche, even if it's not in the player psyche. But let's talk about the Tennessee quarterback, Nico Iamaleava. He ran out of bounds and time, of course, expired in the loss to Arkansas. How much frustration or pressure is on him right now?
Very much so. Because, and I'm guilty of this, last year it was very obvious Tennessee's difficulties were on the offensive side of the ball. And Joe Milton, it seemed like, was having difficulties processing plays or not making quick enough decisions. The second he is moved on from and they move and pledge their allegiance to Nico Iamaleava, that offense. Now, granted, Iowa, there's the Iowa tie again. They met last year in Orlando, the Citrus Bowl. It was moving. It was. I'm talking dip, dodge out of 5 o'clock traffic lanes. Nobody could get a hand on them. There were pressured sacks, but there was no poor decision. Last week was a poor decision. There's no time on the clock. You have no timeouts. Do or die. Yeah, sure. You might get picked off. You might overthrow your receiver. There's no excuse to run out of bounds with the ball. We talked to Nico after the game was over in Fayetteville, and he said, yeah, the ball slipped a little bit. I've gone back and I've looked at every angle. He had a grip on the ball. The point is, I'm not asking for a SEC quarterback to go out and live dangerously because you have to play smart football to win in this conference. When you have no other choices and your back's against the wall, you got to do whatever it takes to at least make an attempt to see if you can try to push this game to an extra period or at least come even. I think that was a 19-year-old redshirt freshman quarterback who will go back and look at that moment for however long he's in Knoxville and go, that can't happen again. And no matter what career, no matter what you choose for your life, we all have a bad day at the office. We all make poor decisions. I'm raising my right hand doing this hit with you guys. I make poor decisions often. That's a bad decision that he's going to look back on and go, you know what? Back in October of 2024, I can't let a Fayetteville moment happen again. And the competition, including this Saturday, gets even more difficult. And you certainly can't have them whenever everything's on the table and the poker chips are shoved into the middle.
Tyler Ivins is our guest on the Garber Auto Mall hotline. He is the afternoon host on the Sports Animal 99.1 up in Knoxville, Tennessee. I realized I didn't actually complete the loophole, Tyler. Tyler previously worked at KGYM, the gym in Cedar Rapids, when I was a sports anchor up there. That's how we know each other. I also realized that I did not plug your X account, Twitter, whatever the kids are calling it these days, at Tyler Ivins,
don't do that.
where you did tweet me last night, and I completely missed it. Thank you for the housewarming gift coming with an apple in honor of the New York Mets last night. Flipping it on over, though, to the Tennessee defense. Expectation versus reality. One thing I have heard quite frequently in this neck of the woods, Tyler, is that the Tennessee defense is not only winning the award for off the bus, no question, NFL draft prospects up and down the roster, but more than one of our colleagues here at 1010 has said to me, Dan Hicken, Jeff Prosser, well, the Jags are probably going to draft that guy because he looks like a freak athlete. He's chiseled as all get out. But now you fill in the hole here. The reality is the Tennessee defense so far has been blank.
Nope. Let's not say incomplete. They have been suspect at times. How can I give you a 100% definitive answer without talking out of both sides of my mouth? At home, they have been as good as advertised. They are Christmas morning. They are all batteries included, ready to play action figure, pew pew. This is awesome. When they're away from Neyland Stadium, it's like the bank calling you for a fraud alert. They have at times not answered the bell. James Pierce Jr. is who you're referring to. James Pierce Jr., who, as of today, and you can look across all publications. I know everybody has their own favorite websites and their homepages they go to. He's about consensus the 12th to 15th overall selection of the draft. Last year, this man was cleaning up sacks like I clean up whenever I order Chinese food. I mean, that's my meal. I do it. The guy was a monster. But he had the assist of so many talented players who have left at the transfer portal. One in particular is south of you guys right now with Mario Cristobal's team in Miami and Tyler Barron. This year, offensive coordinators who have essentially gone to the board the week they play Tennessee, and they go, all right, boys, you see this guy wearing 27? He's not going to beat us. Anybody else can, but it's not going to be him. Pierce has seen single, double, triple teams on the line of scrimmage. They have just not allowed this guy to get comfortable. He just got his first full sack of the season last week in the loss to Arkansas. Outside of that, though, they've got some of the most experienced linebackers they've had since Spurrier and Fulmer were sideline to sideline with each other. Arian Carter, they beat out Alabama for him. I was there the day he made his announcement in the middle of the state. He committed to Tennessee. Alabama's assistant coach is still under Nick Saban. We're banging on the door. Maybe not literally. They were outside with the doors cracked wanting one last chance to chat with him before he went to the table in the gym and picked Tennessee's hat. That's how coveted he was. You have Keenan Pili, who lost himself at the beginning of the season last year to a torn pectoral in the opener against Virginia. He's 27 years age. He's got a kid and a wife. He's a transfer from BYU. He's one of the most violent hitters and tacklers I've seen in my time from a fan to selling hot dogs to interning and now coming back full-time job. He's just – the guy goes out there. When you hear a car crash, you can turn around and look, and you know Keenan Pili's picking himself up from the pile. The defensive line, very stingy when it comes to the running game. But where the fraud comes in a touch is the secondary. Tennessee lost either to graduation or to the transfer portal themselves. They've got experience themselves in the transfer portal, but it seems like right now it hasn't been tested the most. And the reason behind that is when you've got guys who 5, 6, 7 times the blitz coming at you through the line of scrimmage, that can clean up a lot of boo-boos. That's a deodorant that can clean up a whole lot of the stink. When a quarterback's got not even the 3 Mississippi he's used to hearing in his own backyard because he's got somebody down his neck, that's going to happen. Whenever they play a complete offense, one who can come an experienced quarterback to the line of scrimmage, identify what he sees and goes, okay, this is how we'll clean it up. The problem that a lot of Tennessee teams put their oppositions in is simply this, guys. Tennessee, they're going to defer to the second half. If they make you go 3 and out, there's a good chance you're down 7-0. And if you go another 3 and out, you're down 10, at minimum 14-0. Then all of a sudden, your game plan coming out of that locker room was, here's how we're going to attack Tennessee. There's 5 minutes to go in the first quarter and you're down multiple scores. You're probably going to go to your bench and go, scrap it. This is what we're doing. And then all hell breaks loose. At that point in time, Tennessee smells blood in the water. You get to the third quarter, it's multiple scores. Conservative football, lost a la Kirk Ferentz that would make him excited. Tennessee's in the locker room talking about a 10 to 14-point victory.
Do you think that this weekend, when it comes to this game, because Florida Gators obviously have struggled stopping the run, including allowing over 300 yards to the Aggies, do you think that Dylan Sampson offensively is the key to that side of the ball finding success?
Without question. If you want to talk about where the Achilles heel is for this team, it's Dylan Sampson. If they lost him for any period of time, Tennessee they'd be stuck in neutral. And that's me putting it very, very careful. I probably would say some other statements. I bet you this week, guys, I bet you they sat in that running back room. Darrell Sims sat there with his running backs, and they said, let's go back and watch the Mississippi State tape from a couple of weeks ago. And they're going to try to replicate from pulls, twists. This offensive line, if you must know really why, like here, I'll lay it out there for you. You don't even have to put on the all-22. Why does Tennessee struggle? Their tackles, who allegedly are making the largest amount of NIL money on this team behind the quarterback. They can't run block to save their lives. They really can't. The pass block is average at best as well. So, and that's not even me being hard. This is just me telling you facts about Tennessee. You're having to see Dylan Sampson guys get hit at the line of scrimmage, initial contact, and he's dragging one, maybe two defenders on his back for 3+ after initial contact. Where Tennessee finds the most success is pretty much to your point with Dylan Sampson. They spread the offense. If they could, they'd put one wide receiver in the county west of you, and they'd put another receiver to the county of the east of you, and they'd open up those holes at the line of scrimmage large enough where if they miss one tackle, that's 12-15 explosive play. If Tennessee can get over the 4 explosive play mark, 4 plays of 20+ yards, Josh Heupel's career at Tennessee, he's like 17-2. So spread, hope your tackles are getting flagged for something doofus at the line of scrimmage if they get the snap count down. And 2, a lot of the defense. I have to imagine Florida, when they do a lot of the movement at the line of scrimmage, shifting the line, linebackers showing you one thing, dropping back in coverage. Tennessee, their IQ on the field's not very high. When they want to play smash mouth football, which is not custom to what we're used to seeing at Tennessee, when they want to play smash mouth football where it's your big guy against my big guy, that's where Tennessee wins. But yet, national perspective is, Josh Heupel? Heck yeah, light the fireworks, baby. Put them up in the air, Neyland Stadium, Rocky Top. Not this year. Until the quarterback gets down, what he has is a comfortable piece of the offense. And this offensive line, left to right, can look at each other and go, push that guy 3 yards. Tennessee's not going to find success. If they do, I have a feeling we'll be talking about them hosting or at least being in this 12-team dance that kicks off in December.
All right, Tyler, we really appreciate your time, and have fun Saturday night.
Okay, one thing before I step aside.
Oh,
I've been
boy.
I've been promising Mia this housewarming gift for like 18 months. And as a loser and as a typically fashioned late person, this thing literally is on my kitchen table right now. It's going to get package tape, and it's going to be out the door before I head to our location today. May I also close on this as well? Hardest working woman I know is sitting behind that microphone. Her name's Mia O'Brien. And if you don't know, now you know. Unless the Mets and Yankees play in the World Series, then I've never met that woman before in my life. Goodbye, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
I'm personally rooting for a Subway Series. Tyler Ivins, you always deliver, even though I've actually only lived in my house for 12 months. We are well over our time, thanks to another wonderful guest on the Garber Auto Mall hotline. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll put a bow on this puppy. You are listening to a Thursday edition of Helmets and Heels on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
This hour of Helmets and Heels is brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. There's a reason why people love to listen to play-by-play on the radio.
This is unbelievable what we're witnessing. I'm serious.
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Dive into Beyond Triathlon, an inspiring documentary with stories of women in sports, featuring Jacksonville's Dottie Dorian, Mayor Donna Deegan, and 3-time Olympic gold medalist Nancy Hogshead at the Lazara Performance Hall at UNF this Saturday, October 12th. After, Bacardi invites you to celebrate with a triumphant Toast to Excellence reception. Golden and silver levels get an exclusive custom blended bottle of rum. Get tickets starting at $10 at BeyondTriathlon.com. Proceeds benefit scholarships for female athletes.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed has taken action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit by lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR, the lowest in 2 years. Whether you got your loan last month or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto and dump that high-rate loan. You can lock in a lower rate fast with virtually no paperwork and usually no appraisal. There's no limit on how many times you can refi, so get started. Even if you're in process with another lender, give Loan Pronto a call. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Purchase loans available as well, so call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS consumeraccess.org.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On Helmets and Heels, noon to 2.
I swear to you, I know her.
Then there's the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 5-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now graduate making over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or no student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by November 7th.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Green Law Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Green Law Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Green Law Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Green Law Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Former Georgia defensive tackle and pro wrestler Bill Goldberg and Bull standout and Georgia cornerback Mike Fisher will be inducted into the Florida-Georgia Hall of Fame. For tickets to the celebration lunch Friday, November 1st, go to GAFLJax.com.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars pass rusher Josh Hines Allen on preparing for Bears quarterback and number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams.
I know with this quarterback, he does a really good job on getting away from sacks. That gives us more opportunities to rush the ball because I believe he has all the confidence in the world that can't nobody sack him. Obviously, the first 2 weeks they gave him 14 or whatever, first 3 weeks. Even still in the tape, he tries to do. He does his best on avoiding sacks.
Hines Allen on the ground game for Chicago.
DeAndre Swift is a good running back. I still remember days of, him back in Georgia. He's a good running back.
Josh Hines Allen on the Bears offense. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Our thanks again to Tyler Ivins of the Sports Animal for hopping on with us on the Garber Auto Mall hotline, breaking down the Vols and the Gators. I swear this is why Lauren Brooks clutches her dear heart every time one of Mia's friends comes on the Garber Auto Mall hotline, because we never know what's going to happen and how much of our time they will take, but always a pleasure. And, of course, the Sports Animal does a great job as the flagship station of the Tennessee Volunteers. The New York Mets, speaking of Tyler Ivins, have played at Citi Field for 16 years, and last night was the first time they have ever won a playoff series at Citi Field.
Wow.
That, my friends, is what we like to call a saucy nug. Shout out to Steve Griffin for providing the chicken tender saucy nugs, courtesy of Chick-fil-A, our good friends
Saucy
over there.
nugs.
Thank you, RJ. I know it's football season, but man, oh man, maybe it was the hurricane effect last night. I know I speak for both of you ladies when I say it was very, very heartwarming to be locked in on baseball last night, and I love how they've staggered those game times, and the drama has lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I always talk about when it comes to those the New York teams, a New York team hasn't won any championship since 2011 when the New York Giants won, which is kind of crazy to think about when you go through all of the big markets. That's including the Buffalo teams. That's including all of the hockey teams. That's including not the soccer, the four major sports have not won a championship since 2011. We're now at 13 years since any New York team has won a championship. And it's kind of crazy to think about it in that realm. And I tweeted, I want to say, I can't remember if it was maybe around a year ago, where I was like, which New York team finally does it? Is it going to be the Buffalo Bills? Is it going to be the Mets? Is it going to be the Rangers? Because obviously we saw the Rangers this last season have a really good year. And I feel like nobody really had an answer. I think a lot of people honestly was like the Bills looked like the most realistic a year ago. But at this point, it kind of feels like you have two chances in the playoffs of baseball for one of the New York teams to potentially win. If they don't do it again, that's going to be really crazy when you have two chances to try and get a championship back to New York.
And I don't care if people that you know come on. They just have to.
No,
you just have to keep it in the.
No, I'm
time
just
frame
saying
of the
that
show.
my friends tend to be the talkers. I know we're all surprised by that fact.
All right, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
Matt Hayes, everything good at your house?
Yeah, everything's good. How about y'all?
All good.
How's the pup?
No limbs down.
Was he scared?
He was scared.
Oh, poor babe.
Right next to me the whole night.
Oh.
That's how my dog is all the time. So
She's like, no different.
He's not afraid of hurricanes. He's terrified of fireworks. We've had this conversation, though.
Well, the worst part is he was like rah, rah, the whole night. Like every time the wind would blow.
Oh, yeah.
He would howl?
Yeah, well, he wouldn't howl. He'd kind of look at me like, and then he'd kick a little bit. And I'm like, I'm letting you here.
He's like,
what
are you
doing?
going to do something about
Right.
this noise?
The wind during Helene definitely kept me wide awake. The wind last night, I was up and down, but I would say, yeah, Helene's wind seemed, at least living at the beach,
Right,
worse.
much worse. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, the good news for around here, at least, is it does seem like we were spared the worst of things. And I know tornadoes were really bad yesterday. And so hopefully, though, now that the storm is offshore, the damage will be limited. What's coming up with y'all?
We were talking ball. We're talking Jags with Steve Weiss from the NFL Network.
Nice.
We're going to get into a little college football. Leon and I will we do this once or twice a week where we were sponsored by Campion Law, by the way. We get into it, and Joe is the judge, and Joe's a terrible judge. He's horrific, actually. So Leon and I will argue, and Joe makes his decision, and typically he goes with Leon just to annoy me. So.
Do you think Leon bribes him with food?
I think
or money?
I think the presence of Leon certainly is a factor.
It's the nostalgia part of it for Joe as a Northeast Florida native. He just sees Leon and he can't say no to him. Real quick, just because I saw it pop up on my X side tab, Quinn Ewers in line to start for Texas. Right now, for you, are they the best team in the country?
No, I still think Georgia is. Even after the loss to Alabama, I still think Georgia, when everything is right and everything's equal, I think Georgia. I mean, that's the blessing of the 12-team playoff. We'll be able to watch it play out.
Yeah.
And there will be, and I keep saying this, and I know people keep saying the same two teams will be playing. There will be upsets in that playoff. There will be, because stuff like that happens. Like Alabama has a bad day and they lose Vandy.
Yeah.
That will happen.
Ohio State, by the way, is just sitting over here going,
like, hello.
you guys in the SEC think you guys can just beat up on each other. We're just going to hang out over here. And obviously they assume they're going to win at Oregon. We'll see.
If Dylan Gabriel plays against Ohio State the way he played in the first quarter against Michigan State, they're going to get crushed. So they've got to play better offensively from the jump or they're in trouble. He threw 2 picks, both in the end zone, first 19 minutes of that game. Last. Not good.
Yeah, don't want to start again that way. By the way, you guys' segment yesterday on the point differential was the most confusing segment in the history of radio. I was like, what is happening with this?
The problem is okay, here's the problem.
You're airing out your grievances over here.
First off, Joe can't hear. That's number one. Okay? I think we all can admit to that, all right? And then he that's the same with when he does his trivia questions. I'm like, wait, say that again? Because the way he phrases things, it's not even. Anyway.
I was just in the car on the way home.
Which is why he's a bad judge, by the way.
Yeah, that's
right?
why he can't even hear your argument.
He's the bad judge without can't be judged or can't be in law judging. So.
Well, we'll be listening, Matt. Thank you. It's always fun for the listeners when hosts go back and forth.
Oh yeah,
right?
I was cracking up yesterday. I was like, I don't think either of them know what the other one is talking
and
about.
Matt was trying to defend the Jags. So I mean, hey, listen, pigs can fly too.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. For me, O'Brien, for Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but of course, don't go anywhere. XL Primetime comes up next, followed by the Frangie Show and the rest of 1010XL coverage.
You keep lying when you ought to be truthing. And you keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saying when you ought to be a-changing. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Helmets and heels.
This hour is brought to you by